Welcome, everybody, to the Hashtag Fails podcast, where we talk to people from all walks of life who have used their setbacks for success. Now, one of the hardest things in life is finding your way out of that valley to the other side. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. That's Psalms 23. But guess what? We do fear the evil, and that's what gets us stuck. So what do? You want to get out of it, but a lot of times you can't get out of it. You got to go through it. You got to go through it sometimes instead. So my guest today is very familiar with that topic, and he's going to show you how finding your value and knowing your purpose is going to help move you out of that valley into victory. So I want everybody to welcome Omar Campbell, personal trainer, owner of Limitless Chances Gym, and now author of this awesome new book, You're Supposed to Be Here. Okay? So today we're talking about how to find your purpose and live a meaningful life. So what motivated you to write this book?
So what motivated me the most to write this book is that I get the same question about would people have fear. And for me, it took me some time to understand what people were meaning when they said fear, and I always looked at it like, are you afraid to step out, or are you afraid to just be yourself? So it was definitely trying to find that inner person and then releasing that out and then showing like what they really want to do and all that. So the motivation came from just the many questions I got, just because people would like ask me the same questions about like where I get my strength from,
Right.
and it's like we're gonna do a lot of stuff we're gonna do in life is gonna take courage, but at the same time we don't know how the outcome is gonna be.
Right.
And I'm not gonna like I always have this thing where I say, this is the contract I write for myself. I'm gonna follow through with this contract no matter what, and I'm gonna let the outcome chips fall the way they're gonna fall.
Yeah.
But across the learning experience of that, I'm gonna pick up these little gems across the time, like, okay, I learned from this, or this ain't going my favor, this ain't work. So it's like that's for me is why I wrote this book.
Okay.
Like you have to take the leap regardless.
Yeah, I remember you used to say when we were training to trust the process.
Yeah.
And I never really heard anyone say that before, but it helped. And I have history with this man because I have worked out with him before, and that's how I met him, and that's how I knew you were a different type of trainer because you meet people where they're at.
Absolutely.
I remember, in the beginning not being able to do a burpee or not being able to jump up on a box, and he made it modify the exercise so that I still got an effective workout without doing something that I couldn't do. But anyway, I remember you always saying to trust the process, and I understand what that means is that sometimes you do have fear, and you were mentioning fear. People have fear of failure.
Right.
They also have fear of success.
Right.
Speak to that a little bit.
I mean, I say it to people all the time. Some people fail because they're afraid of success, like what that's going to bring for them. And we know we live where it's like we're going to be judged regardless. Whatever happens in our life, people are going to have a predisposed motion of who you are and what they think you are. And then when you start making it they want to say, kind of steer you into the direction they want you to go in. So I've learned that over my experience and my time that, people look at me a certain way. They feel like I should be doing this or I should be here, So when it comes to being successful, I don't look at what you have as success. Like I look at who you are, like how you carry yourself, how you present yourself, and how people feel when you come around.
Right.
For me, that's how I feel about success. And I love the fact that people feel good when I'm around and I'm doing stuff with them, because I don't want to be like, I've never been want to be a person that want to be the center of anything. I want to pull out, just keep pulling people out and doing stuff. And that's my biggest blessing for me, just being able to help people and do stuff like that. That's been the biggest thing for me. So my success is predicated on you becoming what you want to become. And I changed trust the process to trust your process, because we all have different processes to get there in different ways, but it's your process regardless. And I can't tell you when it's going to happen and when it's going to work, but I could be a cog of like helping you as well, just being an aid or whatever I could be to be there for you at the same time,
Yeah. Now I know, life has knocked us down many times. Some of us, life has knocked us down many times. How do you start? How do you start to come back from that?
Man, that's one. Man, what's crazy? It's the first time I heard that question. Man, so it's the small steps, the baby, it's a part of my book, and I said every day you cast a vote on yourself, and it's not even about every gesture you're doing. It's the little things. I woke up, I brushed my teeth, that's a vote. Like you're doing something productive for yourself.
Yes.
That's helping you out. So that's how you start. You just say, you know what, no matter how big or small it is, a step is still a step.
Yeah.
And that's how I look at me, like my life, and I look at people around me. I was just like, you taking a step regardless. You showed up and you're showing up for yourself.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we put people over ourselves.
True.
A lot. And I realized that over the course of 18 years of being a trainer and working with people, I was like, man, like you don't even understand your own value, you know? And then once you realize your own value, and you gotta tell yourself every day and every way I'm getting better and better. That's one thing I tell myself all the time. And it's like, that's the internal talk we have with ourselves is so important. So I think it starts with that regardless, how we speak to ourselves.
That's one thing I try to do, especially when I'm faced with a lot of things that are like challenging. I make a list. I'm a list maker. Yeah. And then at the end of the day, I'll say, it's not just checking off the boxes, but I'll say, okay, you did get up and brush your teeth.
Absolutely,
Or you did take the trash out when you didn't want to take the trash out. Just those little things. It's not always the big things that lead to where we're trying to get to something. You got to start with the little steps. You got to start with the little steps. So what do you do aside from what you just mentioned? Like what other tricks or tips can you provide to people who are trying to work through those baby steps to get to the end, the prize at the end?
You know what? I look in the mirror and talk to yourself. Because sometimes the one thing I tell people all the time, you don't ever hear people tell you you're doing great or you're doing good.
Yeah.
Speak to yourself and say, I'm doing good. I'm gonna be great today. I'm gonna be whatever. Like, tell yourself that as well, because we don't hear it enough. Like, and for me, since I've been doing what I've been doing, I've been able to get those flowers and I've been blessed with that. But I also understand that people don't even get that because my interactions is with people all the time. Like my day-to-day processes, and some people don't get that. And you can see people who walk through the door, they like, man, I don't feel like doing this, or I don't feel like being, but they don't even have like, you know what I'm saying? They don't hear nobody saying, oh, you're gonna be fine, you're gonna be good. My son catches on, he's like, Dad, why you always say it's gonna be all right? I said, I'm never gonna end anything and saying, oh, we're gonna struggle. Like, I'm never gonna end that way. I'm always gonna end with it's gonna be all right, no matter what we got going on.
Yeah.
So he hears that so much. He calls me out on it all the time. But that's something I'm trying to instill in other people. Like, never think the wall is bigger than who you are. Like, don't build the wall up. You're gonna have to make sure you climb it. So let's go. Let's start with something that you can start with positively first.
Yeah, that's good words to not to build a wall bigger than what you are, because we tend to do that too.
Right.
Make things bigger or worse than what they really are, and then we're stuck.
Yeah.
Stuck in that valley, and like
absolutely.
Like, why me, God, instead of what can I do, God? So
and everything, like, none of this stuff is easy. Yeah. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, well, I got it all figured out. I don't. Like, today I was driving in I was up at 4:30 driving in. I'm like, man, I'm burnt out. Like, you having that, and then you have like, okay, I'm gonna leave this in this car. I'm not gonna get out the car and take it to this next room.
Right.
So I always say, all right, if you feeling like this here, you have to address it here and then leave it and move on to the next thing. Because sometimes
when you're done with it, you forgot what you were even tripping about.
Yeah.
It's like you had a great time or whatever the challenge may be.
Exactly.
And then you forget about what you were even stressing out about,
That's what happened today. Like, I get there, and then one of my clients, her name is Andrea, we call her Miss Stay Fit, and she was so happy to see everybody. I'm like, you don't even think about, man, I'm burnt out. Like, you think about, dang, this person's coming in happy at 5 o'clock in the morning. You know what I'm saying? So it's a great feeling,
Yeah.
It's a great feeling.
Yeah, I respect people who feel that way at 5 a.m. in the morning. Not me. So speaking of the working out part and all that kind of stuff, how do we connect our mind to our bodies to begin living our purpose?
Man, prayer. Prayer, talking to God. Like, for me, it's every day. And, that's the first thing I do, just waking up. Like, thank you, God, for waking me up. Put my feet on that ground. I say, I'm going to take care of the rest. But at the end of the day, it's like, working out is such a, working out is such a tall task, because we don't understand what we're doing. And what I mean is, our body is a weight. Our body is a gym. Getting up and just moving, you're working. But if you think about saying, you know what, if I get up, I'm gonna sit down in the chair, I'm gonna stand back up, I'm gonna sit down and stand back up. You're working your body. And you have to give yourself some credit to be able to do that. A lot of people don't even understand, like, man, I really doing that. It's like the small things.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the small thing. I tell, like, for me, if I have a client that's with me or a client that moves on or a client that's not with me, I say, do something active with yourself regardless. Like, give yourself some grace as well, because we're not going to just full blown and be like, oh, I can do it. It's not happening like that. I didn't start like that.
Yeah.
It took me some time. And then once I started getting my process together, it started coming together. So I would just, like, everything is like a small step and casting that vote to what you want for yourself. But yeah, for me, Man Upstairs got me keep me aligned.
Yeah.
Really, you know what I'm saying? And actually, Karen, actually, it's like, if I step out too far, you'd be like, all right, now I'm gonna bring you back in here. I'm gonna give you this, but hey, come on now, like, so it's like, it's a reassurance as well. Like, okay, you gotta. So for me, that's important.
Okay. So how about if you walk us through the book? Like, what are the different sections in here, and what's your favorite part of the book?
Chapter 5. I love chapter 5. I'm gonna hold on before I don't want to read anything, but the mind leads the body. For me, that was a chapter I wasn't gonna put in the book at all.
Okay.
Because it was more personal as for me.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to make the book Omar
About
Campbell's
you.
book.
Yeah.
I wanted to make it feel like we're having a conversation, or we're just like, you're having someone talk with you. And that's why I did the reflections and then, the commitments in there as well, because it's important for me to be like, this is you talking, this is you about yourself.
Right.
And this is good. So to walk you through, it was just based off of like the wake up call from this first chapter, then I put my story in there, like a little bit of like what I went through, because people have these, like I said, Peter Stone's notions of who you are and don't even know, like, I slept in my vehicle for 6 months.
Yeah.
I had to understand, like...
That's very profound, because a lot of times, like, when you see business owners or people like that, people assume that you start off like that. You're just immediately successful.
Yeah.
And they don't understand the struggles and some of the sacrifices that some people have to make sometimes to get to that point.
Absolutely. Yep. And I was a ex-basketball player that had stuff going for me, had an injury, had to figure it out what I want to be. And that's where everything for me was a downfall, because I didn't know. I couldn't find my identity, because I didn't want to, I wasn't Omar the basketball player anymore.
Right.
You know, and that's the reason why I say, like, when you're supposed to be here, it was, you can be who you want to be, but you have to walk those steps and be that, as well. But you don't have to be stuck in one box to do it. So that's, to walk, like, that's exactly how the book came together for me. Like, just making sure people understand your identity is you, but you can be who you want to be. And when I was, the lowest in my life was during that time, because I had to figure out everything. And honestly, I was stealing canned goods to eat. I was taking showers at Planet Fitness. It was like a lot of things I had to do to survive. And you realize that the hardest thing for me was realizing nobody's coming to help me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, oh my gosh, like there's nobody coming, and I had to figure it out. But with God, everything is possible, and it really made me understand, like, people even more, because I didn't want to be vindictive and wrong.
Right.
I wanted to be like, okay, how can I get myself together? And it was a climb, but you go from being a high to a low, and then climb your way back up, and then you understand the value of life even more that way.
Yeah,
for me.
That's very profound. A lot of people don't have the opportunity to be able to be high, go low, and then come back up again. A lot of people give up, when they get to that low point, and things happen. So that's great. So now, what's your favorite part of the book?
My favorite part is the acknowledgments. It's funny I say that, but it is, because the book was written with everybody that I have come across and different walks of life, good and bad, whatever, and different. But these, like, the times I got to communicate with people, and then we, like, after a workout or whatever, we had a phone call or a text, it's like so much stuff. So for me, my favorite part is being able to just tell people, like the people who was a part of this, thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm appreciative of you too, because you was able to open up to me and let me be able to take this all in. And I could never be able to say, I could understand now what's going on with you as well. I was not. You took me out of just being a person that trained you. I became a family member to you. I became somebody I could be close to you as well. And that was big. So for me, that was the biggest part, because this was 8 years in the making, but it took me 3 months to write.
Okay.
Because I just kept putting stuff down, and I was like, okay, this is it. But it was literally all the years that I've been at LCX
Uh-huh.
and what I've been through, what I've seen, what I heard. And I tell people all the time, the hardest way in the room is the front door, because you have
To get through the front door.
you have to get through the front door. And that's a lot of times in life, like just when you, okay, I'm gonna have opportunity to have a new job opportunity. I want to step out. That hard, it's that door.
Yeah.
Like, am I willing to walk through that? So
Yeah.
for me, the acknowledgments was the biggest thing, because I wanted to let people know that I appreciate them for me. They helped me write this,
Mm-hmm.
you know, not even knowing. So yeah, that was the most important part for me.
Okay. My favorite part are the reflections where
Is
you
it?
have to sit down and answer the questions.
Yeah.
And if you guys pick up the book, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's and it's not too heavy where you can't answer the questions, and some of them are kind of fun. So it's like an interactive, like a workbook journal type thing. It's not just
Right.
do these number of sets of squats.
Right.
And it'll be fine type
You
thing.
know what's crazy? Because people was like, they thought I was writing a book that was like that.
Yeah.
And if you read it, there's nothing in there about working
Like
out.
where's the diet
There's-
part? What am I
yeah,
supposed
there's
to eat? How
there's
many
nothing in
reps
there.
am I supposed
Yup.
to do? How many what you call sit-ups am I
Right.
supposed to do? Am I supposed to do burpees? What am I doing
Right.
there?
There's
So
nothing
yeah, it's
in there
nothing
about
like
working
that at
out,
all.
like nothing like that. Like
Yeah.
what you're supposed to do. So
Yeah. Cool. So you had a book signing the other day. How did
Yep.
that go?
It was great. The turnout was great. I was going there, and only thing I wanted to do that I put together was the book signing, and I asked a few entrepreneurs to come as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted people who were just starting in entrepreneurship, who wanted to get out there. So I asked for women to come in that are a part of LCX, but also just like
just started.
you
your
can
business,
tell like
yeah.
they just getting and that's the only thing I planned. And then during that, I wanted everything to unfold.
Okay.
So we did a book signing. I had them talk about what they do for their business, but then testimonials started happening. People started talking about like how I helped them. And I was like, man, this is crazy how this transitioned to this.
You didn't know people thought
You
that way
don't.
about you.
And I got so many flowers. Like I was like, damn, I'm getting my flowers right now. Like, and then my son is there, and he talked as well. He's like, you're just an awesome guy, you awesome dude. I'm like, wow, like so. It was like it turned into me having. I got my appreciation.
Yeah.
And I didn't think about that.
That's
You
cool.
know, and people kept saying you're supposed to be like. I'm like, man, it's like that resonated with me because
Yeah.
everything I've been through in my life,
Yeah.
it was like. I'm supposed to be here. This happened to me for this reason to
Right.
be this way. You know,
Right.
a leader ain't somebody. You ain't born a leader. You become that.
Right.
You know, so yeah, that was it was a great, and it was longer than I thought it would be. I thought people would come in there and get a book signed and leave.
Uh-huh.
But
It ended up being like a
yeah,
little celebration.
exactly.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It was really awesome.
Well,
It
that's
was really
cool.
awesome.
That's cool.
Yep.
Anything else you want to share about the book or your journey or what you want us to take away from this, from everything?
The one thing I want to share about my journey, or just a journey in general, is allow yourself to understand that you're growing, because every day is a day for you to grow. And like when I put this on here, somebody you're supposed to be here, just know that you're not going to be stuck in whatever environment you're in. You don't have to be there forever. You're not going to be there forever. Just allow yourself to grow, because God made us to evolve, and it's either you're going to keep wanting to evolve to be better, or you want to stay the same. But you have to allow yourself to do things, and don't be afraid of a challenge. Be okay with being uncomfortable. My life was built off uncomfortability, so like it's okay to be uncomfortable, because you want to whatever you want to do. You want to be a trailblazer. So just give yourself an opportunity to do those things.
Great. That's perfect.
Thank
so
you.
I would like to finish with this sentence. We want you to help us out, Omar.
Yeah.
So when you stop giving fear permission to run your life, what can you expect?
You can okay. You can expect to be. You can say it again. I want to hear it again.
When you stop giving fear permission to
Mm-hmm.
run your life, what can you expect? What can we expect?
I think you can expect to become who you want to be.
Okay.
You know, in my opinion, because I have fear. You know,
all have fear.
yeah. So I just became who I wanted to be. I was just able to say, you know what, if this is gonna happen this way, I might as well let it go happen. So yeah, that's a good question.
Thank you.
You good? I told you good. I told you.
Well, I think that's our time for today. I thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
coming out and joining us and sharing these words of wisdom with us. So again, congratulations, continued success for all y'all. Check out this book and make sure if you pick it up and read it, do a review on Amazon. We want to get our boy up
Yes,
on the top
thank
of the
you.
list.
Thank you so much. I
Yes,
appreciate that.
absolutely.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.